What's going on, everybody? We're here, back with a brand new episode of Umineko When They Cry. Last time on, we learned a whole bunch of stuff. We first saw Battler and Beatrice once again battling each other in a fortitude of mental games with Hempel's ravens and Devil's proofs and all that. Basically, it came to the conclusion that there are only 18 humans on the current island of Wokojima. For right now, 18 humans, which is I feel like a very important word to distinct in that single red statement. But we also find out that back in 1967, there was a human person on Wokojima named Beatrice who was hiding or living within a hidden mansion on Wokojima that Kinzo built specifically for her for his own purposes of trying to get this certain Beatrice to love him, pretty much. We also came to find out that Rosa, when she was a young girl, came across this mansion and became friendly with Beatrice. But as they were escaping or walking away from the mansion, Beatrice fell off a cliff and hit her head and died. And so that came to the end of poor Beatrice. There was a very important thing I was pointing out last episode of how there was a discrepancy, about a single year discrepancy, between the stories of the siblings and from Wolanov, which is the year. The siblings, Rosa claims it was 20 years ago, while Wolanov says it's 1967, which would be 19 years ago. Basically, someone commented that, the siblings could just be misremembering, and that I should trust the red, which, in all honesty, yeah, I probably should have been trusting the red a little bit more than the siblings, since, the red is actual factual statements. So that probably means that Beatrice either died in 1967 or 1968. It really doesn't matter what year she died in, but she died around those two time frames, about 20 years ago, pretty much. So that's important to point out. But I feel like the biggest question that was brought up from last episode, the biggest question I have right now, is where does this human Beatrice come from? Who is she? Is she Kinzo's daughter with the previous Beatrice who died? Pretty much the daughter of Kinzo? Or is she just a kidnapped child, or maybe a kidnapped baby somewhere else and wasn't actually born on Wokojima? To be honest, I'm going to fall into the camp that Kinzo pretty much he has the resources to probably do this. He probably kidnapped a baby from some hospital somewhere and raised them to be his perfect Beatrice or whatever. And by dressing her up and convincing her that she's a witch and all of these things. Now, the reason why I state this is because of the first scene we saw in this episode, which was we saw a young Beatrice, the human Beatrice, interact with this other woman also named Beatrice. Or she called her Beatrice, at least. But some people might think, maybe that other Beatrice was actually, the mother to the human Beatrice. God, fucking Beatrice. Technically, we have we have two confirmed characters that are Beatrice, the witch and the human. But we could also have three, since, Kinzo's wife, or concubine, or mistress, or whatever you want to call her, was also Beatrice. So we got tons of fucking Beatrices up in here. It's funny to know. But anyway, the reason why I don't think that woman we saw at the beginning of the episode is her mother is because she never referred to her as mother. She always referred to her as a sensei or as a teacher, not really as a mother figure, more like a maid, really, from the impression I got from her. And also the young human Beatrice talked about grandfather. Now that's very interesting, because that can't be Kinzo. I mean, that wouldn't make sense if it was Kinzo. Why would Kinzo allocate, the status of grandfather to himself? Wouldn't he want to be father if it was his daughter, for some reason? Sure, hidden away, yeah, whatever. But why would, in that hidden, mansion within Wokojima where none of the family knows, not even his wife knows about, why would he refer to himself, to his own daughter, as a grandfather. That would make no sense to me, personally. Whatever. Also, why I don't think it is his daughter is because throughout this entire game, we've seen Kinzo long for Beatrice. Now, it isn't... The impression I get from his longing or his despair about Beatrice, well, him always saying, "Oh, Beatrice Saba," isn't a parent's, like, despair of a loss of a child. It's more like a despair of a loss of a lover. For Beatrice, this specific Beatrice, you know. So I have a feeling that it is just some random child that Kinzo paid some guys to probably kidnap because he has the resources to 100% do that. It basically kidnapped her, put her on Wokenjima, and basically molded her into, you know, his deceased wife, pretty much, is what I'm getting from the whole thing. That's my current theory right now, is that it wasn't his daughter at all, because first of all, that'd be way too fucked up in my opinion. And second, I just feel like it would make more sense if it was just like a kidnapped child or whatever. Or maybe it is his daughter. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just shooting shit in the air, but yeah. What's another thing? Oh, someone else commented how why Battleware is such a effective audience surrogate. Is that the fact in Higurashi spoilers, by the way, if you want to skip like 30 minutes. Well, I mean, I've been saying Higurashi spoilers throughout this entire Let's Play, so, you know, just watch my Higurashi Let's Play before you start this one. We're like already like 23 episodes in, but whatever. But anyway, what makes Battleware such an efficient audience surrogate is because he already has the viewpoint of Rika from like episode 5 or episode 6, really. Because it took Rika a long-ass time to actually see the fragments and understand the rules of the world, the time loop she was in. Or whatever. Well, here with Battleware, it seems like he's gotten that since the end of episode 1, pretty much. He knows everything. He knows that this game board is repeating over and over again, and he's trying to fight against Beatrice. Which makes him more effective audience surrogate, since we're quite literally with him since the start of episode 1. Like, he knows all the information we do, or kind of all the information, but most of the information that the audience has with us. And it just makes him a much more effective, like, main character, or a much more interesting main character, really. Battleware is such a unique character. He's very much the archetype of a shonen protagonist. Well, he's very similar to Ketchy, as in, you know, perverted and all that, and, you know, witty and, you know, funny and all that. But at the same time, he's very smart, and he wants to believe the best in others. He's like a shonen protagonist, really, in that aspect, that archetype of a male protagonist, which makes him very effective. I really do love Battleware as a character. I love every time when it says like Muda, it's all useless. It's so great. But anyway, that's all I gotta say. Let's get right into it.
この旅のゲームはどう転ぶのか
That's what I keep asking myself.
委ねるもよし、抗うもよし。いずれにせよ、わしに残されたわずかの命をトスに値する実に楽しい宴よ。
In his dimly lit study, occasionally blinded by lightning, Kinzo kept mumbling and laughing to himself. On the antique clock with the intricate design that had been sitting on his desk, the two overlapping hands tilted to the light and began to slide. The measure of time that counted up to 24 had returned to 0 and had begun to count back again. Midnight.
時の刻みとは残酷なものよ。24を数えるために1日をかけてたどり着き、そして再び0に戻る。23時59分までは確かに数えただろう。しかし、24時にたどり着くことはできたのだろうか。たどり着けず、 再びレイジに戻ったと考えれば、それはなんとも虚しいことよ。
But perhaps a person's life is the same. You live aiming for a perfect 24, and in the instant you reach it, you return to 0. People will probably praise the departed, saying that he did reach 24, but he most certainly did not. In the end, he's a 0.
わしは違うぞ。わしは生きて24にたどり着く。
Well, the last 2 attempts haven't been so kind for you, Kinzo.
そここそが黄金鏡。ベアトリーチェの住処なのだから。
Kinzo had been fumbling around with some tarot cards for some time. It looked as though he was trying to divine his own luck with a contest, doing it over every time he didn't like the result. The most forbidden action in tarot reading is trying to predict the same thing twice. To do so ridicules the results of fortune telling, and also desecrates those beings while higher than humans that give revelations through the tarot cards. However, Kinzo knew. Tarot cards shouldn't be used twice because, since they're nothing more than a random number generator, reading them twice will naturally cause a different result to appear. Therefore, reading them twice was only forbidden to preserve the mystique of the tarot card's results. However, that didn't mean that Kinzo didn't take tarot card reading seriously. Kinzo's interpretation of tarot reading was done in a completely different way. That was to repeat the reading over and over, without giving up in the slightest, until he reached the result most favorable to him. The mark he set for his most favorable result would vary, but when he demanded the most variable result in the strictly literal sense, it was the same as a simple roulette of luck, where he seeked an arithmetic miracle. However, Kinzo used miracles of numbers as the basis of his magical power, so this functioned perfectly well as a magic ritual. In other words, until the result he desired appeared perfectly, he would strive to repeat the tarot readings over and over with conviction, turning the feelings of his heart into prayers, so that when they reached the heavens, they would be sublimated into results. This was Kinzo's personal magical interpretation. Okay, interesting. So Kinzo wants to play this game over and over until he wins. Using probably the same strategy over and over again until he finally wins against Beatrice. A man after my own heart, Willie. I do the exact same shit as well. I repeat the same process over and over again, same strategy, until I win, eventually. I mean, just look at my Disgaea Let's Plays. Let's Play. Or really any JRPG Let's Play I've done, I use pretty much the same strategy over and over again, until I win. So, I mean, a man after my own heart, Willie. Therefore, even though Kinzo's tarot cards were no different from those generally used, the way in which they were used was completely different. Kinzo stopped his hands for a second. He seemed not to be getting the results he wanted. On the contrary, bad cards that shouldn't show up so often appeared repeatedly, and continued to interfere with the miracle Kinzo wished for. Kinzo seemed to receive some revelation that was different from normal. But judging by the unlucky cards scattered across his deck, it was difficult to imagine that the omen had been a good one. For a while, Kinzo closed his eyes tightly, pondering something. Then, as the thunder roared, he made up his mind about something, took the telephone receiver, and dialed. Huh. Okay. In front of the entrance hall, Shannon's once burning face had been cooled off by the frigid air. She had thought that George's proposal would surely come sooner or later. It wasn't as though she hadn't prepared herself mentally, and she had answered by nodding. Had she been reckless because of her youth? Should she have thought about her future more seriously? I wonder if my immediate reply made him think of me cheap, girl. If I had wished waited until tomorrow morning, would that have wished and shown him I was taking this seriously? Now that she had already received the wink from George, Shannon kept fidgeting in embarrassment. I should have done this, I should have done that. As she did, she heard the sound of footsteps splashing through puddles. Shannon immediately chased away the emotions rolling up inside her.
Genji-sama? Kanon君も。すみません。すぐに戻らなくて、
Both Genji and Kanon. She grew stiff, thinking she sure would be scolded for spending too much time on their secret lovers' meeting with George.
シャノン、親方様が至急書斎へ来るようにとの仰せ。急ぐ。
え？はい、かしこまりました。一体何事なの？
不吉な予感がするってさ。自分で儀式を起こしておいて都合のいい話さ。
大田に気取られぬよう裏から入る。足音に気をつけろ。
はい。姉さん、注意して。姉さんは賑やかだから。
Kanon was especially good at hiding his footsteps. Just like a cat. He was able to suddenly be there without anyone noticing immediately the same way. For example, even though he stepped in puddles, the sound he made was far smaller than that of the ring hitting him. Genji also had abilities of that kind. Or rather, those servants called furniture were supposed to be linked out. Just how desks and closets go unnoticed by members of the family. These servants also held it as a great virtue to just suddenly be there whenever they were needed. Compared to that, Shannon's footsteps still strongly asserted themselves. She was also trying to hide her footsteps. But compared to Ken and Genji, well, you could say she was a little more boisterous. Eventually, they reached the back door, and the three of them entered the mansion. Immediately, they thought they felt something. It was different from a sense of smell, and it seemed to hit the depths of their noses. This hard-to-describe sensation, which you might call a sixth sense, allowed them to perceive that something was different than usual.
源氏様。
急ぐぞ。
That sensation made it feel as though a tense something was pressing in around them. Realizing that, the three of them dashed up the stairs, heading for Kinzo's study while still hiding their footsteps. Something, huh? When they dashed up the stairs, that smell of sweet poison particular to Kinzo's study reached their noses.
いかがなさいましたか、源氏様。
結界が死んでいる。
Barrier, huh?
え？
The barrier between reality and the supernatural. After hearing Ken's words, she looked at the door to the study. A scorpion pattern was engraved on the doorknob. A powerful ward against magic. The final barrier which protected Kenzo himself. It had been broken. Ah. Of course, there was no change to the doorknob that the eye could see. However, those who could understand things people couldn't perceive were able to recognize that a dramatic change had occurred.
親方様。親方様。
Oh, shit.
源氏でございます。ここをお開けください。
Genji called in this way after knocking several times, but there was no answer from the city.
シャノン、背中を守れ。カノン、室内を探れ。
はい。
Is Kinzo the first one dead? Kennen put his ear against the door, searching for a presence inside the study. To protect the backs of the pair watching the door, Shannon faced the other way, ready for the unexpected.
親方様はいらっしゃられるはずです。ですが、静かすぎます。
Swear to God, if we find all the dead bodies of the adults in that study, I'm...
ご無事だということか。
いえ、静かがすぎます。
まさかそんな。
親方様、扉を失礼させていただきます。
Genji pulled a gold key out of his pocket. It was the only key to the study that existed, other than the one Kinzo held. He stuck it in the keyhole and returned it heavily. At first glance, that seemed to prove that it was a sturdy lock. However, now that the barrier had been destroyed, this door might as well have been left open, from the viewpoint of anyone with magical power. The heavy sound just now meant that the door had now been opened even for humans.
失礼いたします。
Humans. Alright, let's see what the hell's in this room. As Genji respectfully bowed his head, and Kennen's sense of tension grew tighter, and Shannon trembled, they entered the study. They immediately discovered Kinzo's figure. He was sitting on the reception sofa so that his back faced them. Genji noticed the person sitting across from him, and again bowed deeply. Oh boy. Kennen also noticed that person. But he didn't bow his head. He stood in front of Shannon and spread out his arms, blocking the way to her. So without even seeing that person's face, Shannon already had a good idea who it was.
お越しでございましたか。ベアトリーチェさん。
源氏か。なかなかに早いな。
God damn it.
やはり家具は主の呼びかけに素早く応える方がよい。こやつとは大違いだ。
ロノエ様もお越しでした。
What? What does Genji know about that? Also, I just noticed this. Genji kind of has a similar name to Wonov. That's the only thing replaces the U in Genji's first name. Oh, what the hell? Genji directed his greeting towards the thin darkness behind and to the right of Beatrice, where there shouldn't have been anything. Even Ken and Shannon would never imagine that someone was there. However, the darkness responded immediately and poised Genji's eyesight.
相変わらずさすがです。だいぶの久しぶりになりますね。
The hell?
それにしても老けましたね。それだけの弱いを重ねましたか。
充実した日々を過ごしております。ロノエ様におかれましても、ますます充実されておりますようお見受けいたします。
ええ、おかげさまです。そしてシャノンも久しぶりですね。君は随分と美しくなった。そして随分と強くなったようですね。良いことです。
ありがとうございます。
姉さん、あいつは一体。
カノン君とは会うのは初めてになりますね。私はベアトリーチェ様の家具頭を任されておりますロノウエと申します。
It's very interesting of like it's pretty much a flipped Genji, you know. Same first name and head butler, head furniture. I wonder if Beatrice is going to have other furniture that are kind of like copies of like Shannon and canon and Kumasawa and all that. I feel like that's why we're going here. Like the opposites, really. You know, the supernatural and reality coming together within this twilight of Wokojima. I feel like that's the pattern we're gonna follow here.
源氏さんの古い馴染みですよ。
Old friend.
あなたと同じに私も家具です。使える主は異なりますが。
The tense color didn't disappear from Ken's face in the slightest. Depending on the master of furniture served, they might be kind or brutal or anything else. If this person claimed to be furniture serving the hated Beatrice, then they must be despicable as well.
わらわもすっかり嫌われたものだ。
Kinda.
坊主憎ければ今朝まで何とかとはよく言ったものよ。
Beatrice openly sneered at Ken's hate-filled face. Then Ken finally realized. Beatrice and Kinzo were having a chess game across the reception table. But Kinzo hadn't even quivered. He was holding his head with both hands, his eyes closed tight as he contemplated his next move. Or was he in anguish?
親方様。
わらわが金蔵に伝えたのは2つ。良い知らせと悪い知らせだった。良い知らせは、儀式を終えずしてわらわと再会できる幸運を得たこと。悪い知らせは、金蔵が儀式の一番最初の生贄に選ばれてしまったことだ。
Damn.
こればかりはわらわにもどうしようもない。実に気まぐれにルーレットにて決めたのだから。
嘘つけ。もてあそんで殺しているくせに。
よしてカノン君。
さて金蔵、そろそろ負けを認める気になったのか。これにてわらわとの長きにわたる勝負は決着だな。
At a glance, it was hard to make out the situation on that chaotic chessboard. However, judging by Kinzo's anguish and Beatrice's malicious confidence, it seemed to be over already.
是非もなし。これもまた一興か。
わらわもだ。そなたとの勝負に決着がつくことは万感の思いあれど、もはや恩衆を超える。楽しかったぞ。退屈しない数十年であった。
Beatrice advanced her queen and made her final move. And that decided it.
チェックメイト。これがわらわからそなたへの手向けだ。心置きなく眠れ。
Kinzo suddenly stood up and laughed like an opera singer facing a full crowd and spreading his arms, as though he had succeeded in a century-long plan. Holy shit! That laugh spat crimson. Crimson flames poured out from inside him, spitting even out of his mouth, ears, and nose, and all at once his body was wrapped in hellfire. But Kinzo kept laughing. The more he laughed, the more the hellfire spewed from his entire body and began to char him. Those flames became a brilliant white, which dazzlingly shone on the various magical tools throughout the room, making their distorted shadows dance across the walls. Those shadows looked like the dead in hell watching over Kinzo in his ecstasy as he burned. And for the one who had made a contract with the witch, it was an extremely fitting end in accordance with those terms. After laughing and howling the whirl of flames for some time, Kinzo flopped to the ground as though he was a puppet whose strings had been cut. God damn, that was, holy shit, I was not expecting that. Holy fuck, that was a great CG. Oh shit. Damn. Those incredible blazing flames disappeared as though he'd been completely burned up. And afterwards, nothing remained but a festering, burnt corpse that one could hardly bear to look at. And also, I have to say about the writing of this game, it is so similar to, like, mythological tales, or, like, old, like, Dr. Faust, for example, or Dante's Inferno. It has that writing style of, like Shakespeare, really, you know? Which is why I kind of get into it with the whole, like, he was burning in the flames and whatnot, because it's extremely fun to read this writing, like, out loud to me. And to you guys, obviously. Because it feels like I'm reading Hamlet, honestly, or like Shakespeare. Like, that type of writing style, you know? So fascinating. But god damn. Oh my god, in episode 1 we found his burnt corpse. Son of a bitch, this is just mirroring the events of episode 1. Because we found his corpse within the furnace. Holy shit.
お前が言うか。ふさわしい死に方だと思っているくせに。
なぜお前が姿を現している？僕たちに何か用だとでも言うのか？
よしてカノン君。ベアトリーチェ様を挑発してはダメ。
すっかり怯えさせてしまいましたね。
I mean, it's something to say by burning a man from the inside.
わらわはつくづくカノンとは仲良くなれぬようだ。そう嫌いでもないというのにね。
Beatrice grinned. Canon violently averted his gaze, obviously unhappy. His reaction was so different from what he wanted to do that it made the witch in her butler laugh.
カノン、ベアトリーチェ様の御前であるぞ。言葉遣いに気をつけなさい。
ああ、構わぬぞ源氏。好きに言わせてやれ。わらわは寛大である。
何が寛大だ。
わらわは死にゆく者にはいつだって寛大である。
Canon was taken aback by the creepy laughter. Beatrice wasn't here just to take Kinzo's wife. The first Twilight required 6 sacrifices. Oh shit, Kinzo alone wasn't nearly enough. And they just casually walked in here. Oh fuck.
安心せよカノン。そなたらがここに訪れたから生贄に選ばれるのではない。生贄に選ばれているからこそここに呼ばれているんじゃないか。
Fuck.
なんだと。
Their instincts were good enough to spot her meaning instantly. 6 sacrifices were required for the first Twilight. After Kinzo, how many more would you need to add up to 6? In this mansion, the number 5 instantly made them think of the number of servants here.
それがお望みですか。
Oh, shit.
感謝せよ家具どもよ。
Gee, thanks, Kinzo, for calling us up here to fucking die.
そなたたちの苦難の日々は今宵ようやく終わりを迎えた。それを告げに訪れたわらわに感謝せよ。
かしこまりました。それをお望みでしたら。
Come on, Genji, fight back, man.
源氏様。
Genji had agreed to the witch's heartless announcement with his usual demeanor without raising an eyebrow.
親方様亡き後はベアトリーチェ様が我らの主 の最後の務め、シャノカノ、今日までよく仕えた。その労苦もこれにて終わりだ。
Jeez.
源氏はさすがですね。同じ家具としてあなたを誇りに思いますよ。
シャノ、異論はないか。
はい。
ジョージ様から指輪を贈られたそうだな。それでもなお未練はないか。
はい。家具の身に過ぎた幸福でした。指輪を頂戴しただけで私の思いはすでに達せられております。
You can't just accept your fate like this. Shannon couldn't take quite as much of a philosophical view as Genji. There probably were regrets left in her heart. She probably wanted to spend a little more warm time with the person she cared for, George. But she released herself from that. She took a single deep breath, and a blank expression rose to her face.
それでよい。
シャノンがそこまでの落ち着きを得るとは少し驚きでした。あなたも家具として達観したようですね。
惚れた男と夜も共にできず、少しは悔し涙をこぼさんのか。退屈な女よ。
ベアトリーチェ様ごときにこの気持ちはわかりません。私たちの命をご所望でしたらどうぞお受け取りください。私たちは謹んでそのお務めを全うします。
それでいい。よくぞ言ったな。
ベアトリーチェ様の苦手なタイプのようで。
最近こやつめはだいぶ達観しよった。どうも前回いじめすぎたようだ。それを言ったらバトラもか。わらわはまだぬるいのかそれとも追い詰め方が下手なのか。いずれにせよ面白みのないやつよ。しかしお前はまだわらわを楽しませてくれそうだよな、カノン。
カノン君。
Compared to the two who had taken a far-sighted approach, there was a painful anguish on Ken's face. Ken was still far too young to accept his demise. After being told of it by a suddenly appearing witch.
カノン、わらわは退屈を何より嫌う。そしてお前を除く二人が素直に死を受け入れるもので面白くない。だからそなたにはわらわの期待を裏切らないでもらいたいものだ。
Damn, actually accepting your death is actually having more effect on her than denying it. So, Canon, accept your death, alright? You've already been through this twice, man. You could go for it for a time.
僕を慰み者にしようというのか。
Still fucked up. Canon realized he was being provoked. However, no matter how fiercely anger spurred him on, his opponent was a witch. He was furniture. He hadn't had a chance of victory from the beginning. But the witch was expecting that he'd struggle in vain and writhe around, and was even looking forward to it. Just thinking about that was so frustrating enough to get his blood boiling. Was disappointing the witch by refusing to resist like the other two the only way he could strike back at her?
煉獄の七姉妹が長女ルシファー。
God.
いでよ。
Here we go again.
傲慢のルシファー、ここに。
Lucifer, pride, huh?
カノン、
Seven deadly sins, of course.
家具に魔女と戦えというのも酷な話よ。そなたがいくら怒りに駆られようとも、勝算のない戦いでは希望も持てまい。無論勝ち目のない戦いではわらわも退屈というもの。ならば家具は家具。
I don't have high hopes for canon here,
家
honestly.
具同士で決着をつけてはどうか。それならば勝てる希望も持てるであろう。
恐れながらベアトリーチェ様、私がそのような出来損ないの家具に劣るようなことがありましょうか？こんな可愛い子に私が万一にも負けるようなことなど。
Wasn't it the stake of Beelzebub that killed Canon in the first episode, or was it Lucifer? Can't quite remember. Probably was Lucifer.
我が家具煉獄の七杭を打ち破ってみせよ。見事打ち破ってみせたなら、そうだな。
You still die.
13人の生贄を逃れることのできる5人をそなたに自由に決めさせてやろう。
Huh.
そなたの推薦する5人をわらわは無条件にて黄金鏡に迎え入れる。それならばどうか。
Canon understood that he was being provoked. However, the witch's offer was very tempting. By this point, Canon couldn't care less about this evil ceremony the witch and the rest were trying to carry out. On the contrary, it was much more important that he remain alive so that he could be invited to the Golden Land and have his wish granted by Beatrice there.
そなたは家具は嫌だと泣いたな。そなたの望み叶えてやろうぞ。枕を濡らしてまで望んだ人間の体を与えてやろうぞ。
The human body.
どうだ。そうすればジェシカとも結ばれるぞ。おお、ちょうどよい。黄金鏡へ招ける5人にジェシカとそなたを推薦すればよい。自分だけが幸せになることに抵抗があるならば、さらにシャノンとその思い人であるジョージを加えればよい。義理があるならばさらに源氏も加えればよい。おお、これで5人だ。十分ではないかカノン。これだけのご褒美があればそなたはわらわを退屈させはしないよな。
どうせ戯れよ。耳を貸す必要はない。
僕は嫌だ。姉様それでいいの？
Beatrice couldn't hide her evil smile at those words.
僕は嫌だ。幸せになりたい。家具なんてもう嫌だ。人間になって普通の恋がしたい。僕も姉さんのように海が青いってことを知りたいんだ。
若いですね。羨ましい。
だから若者は好きなのだ。源氏、シャノンは下がれ。カノン、ルシファーは前へ。
仰せのままに。
I mean, what the hell do you do in this situation? Do you accept your fate to possibly get at Beatrice, or do you fight and swim chance of winning? Huh? And become a mere plaything.
気に入らないわ。ベアトリーチェ様は無理でも私にだったら勝てるかもしれないという見下しが最高に気に入らないわ。
That was probably humiliating for Lucifer. But at the same time, she was also happy that she was lucky enough to have this adorable prey all to herself.
恋魔女の家具いつまでも僕を見くびることができると思うな
Here we go. Time for anime battle sequence, baby. I thought Kanon's sword was purple last episode, man. No, I'll probably think of the fake Kanon. Yeah, right. Doom, 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 doom. Boom, boom, boom.
さあさバトラー
What do you want?
楽しい見せ物の時間であるぞ
Shut up, I just watched my grandfather burn from the inside out.
またおかしなことになりやがった魔法バトルなんて認めてたまるかよ
Just, just ignore it. That's what I've been doing, Bador. Just
目を
ignore
つぶら
it.
ずにちゃんと見ろよほらほらほらほら魔法だよ家具だよそなたがどんなにわらわや魔法の存在を否定しようともほらほらほらほらほらほらこうして目の前でブオンブオンカキンカキンやられちゃ台無しだよなほらほらほらほらもう思考なんて止めちまえよ魔法はあるんだって
No, shut up. I'll just ignore it like I did with episode 2.
こ
God
れ
damn
は
it.
ファンタジーなんだって目を閉じるなよしっかり見ろよほらほらほらほらほら
畜生畜生畜生畜生魔女を認めない魔法を認めない
Just ignore it.
でもこんなにあからさまにやられちまったらなんだっていやいいんだ
Easy, just do what I've been doing. Just don't address it.
クソクソクソクソ
ほら目を背けるなよしっかり見ろよ魔法はあるんだよファンタジーなんだよ推理ごっことかやめちまえよ知ってんだよものを考えんの本当は苦手なんだろやめちまえやめちまえ
Shut up. If I start accepting magic, you'll be a cop out, damn it.
ほらほらどうせファンタジーどうせファンタジー
うるせえうるせえうるせえ俺に話しかけるんじゃね
Once again, another great example of
意地になっちゃ
Bador
って
being the audience surrogate, especially for me.
私になら勝てるなんて思い上がりをしたことを今すぐ床に這いつくばって謝ってごらんなさい
Because I really can't explain any of this shit.
そうしたら特別に許してあげてもいいわよ生きながら生皮を剥がして絶命するまで全身を鞭打ってのたうち回らすのを特別に許してあげてもいいわよ可愛い子なんだから謝っちゃいなさいよそうしたらあなただけは最高に素敵な気分の中で優しく優しく生かせてあげる
Alright, you masochist.
黙れ魔女の家具お前と問答するつもりはない
私なんか眼中にないというのね気に入らないわイフを感じないその目本当に気に入らないわはあ
I have no idea who's gonna win this.
カノン君
あやつサタンの時よりも筋がいいではないか。
Oh, it's Sake that killed him was saying.
だから人間は恐ろしいのです。たまに魔女にまでなり、悪魔を羊扱いにしたりいたしますよ。
No, I think that was episode 2. I think the first episode was Lucifer. Fucking goddamn it.
わらわはどちらを応援すればよいというのか。
こいつ私と互角に渡り合うというの？
僕を見くびるな。お前にそのおごりがある限り、僕には決して勝てない。
私がこの煉獄の七姉妹が長女ルシファーを指して決して勝てないと？こんな思い上がりが
Truly the most prideful one. Shit, it really can go either way. Oh shit. Yeah, get her. Kenan was desperately trying to stay alive and had a strong desire to become human. But Lucifer didn't feel anything stronger than a slight desire to play. So that led to an inevitable result. It was a result that could be reached by the power of humans. The power of the heart.
これまでだ。お前は僕に決して勝てない。
Yeah, Ganon! The glowing red curve extended straight out from Ganon's arm, pointed at Lucifer's throat, just beneath the tip of her chin.
何よこれ。この私がこんなの何かの間違いよ。
Get her ass! As she ground her teeth in irritation, she denied the truth right before her eyes. But no matter how much she believed in her own superiority, it didn't change the facts right in front of her.
ほう、やるなカノン。見事だ。わらわを退屈させなかった。それに比べわらわの家具のなんと情けないことか。
ルシファー、お嬢様を退屈させていますよ。やはりあなたには荷が勝ちすぎた相手でしたか。
失望するぞ、七食いの長女。
It would have seemed like mere rebuke to an outsider. However, furniture serving the witch knew what kind of severe treatment was promised by that rebuke. It understood what had been left unsaid.
この出来損ない家具が。
She howled. Abandoning her last bit of pride, she made her body explode, exposing her true form. That form was a demon stake which bounced off the wall surrounding the room.
よくも私にここまで恥をかかせたな。殺せ殺す殺せ殺せ。このぬるまが私の姿をもはや追うこともできないくせに。もう遊ばないよ。本気で怒ったわよ。お前の心臓を一撃で貫いてやるよ。ぶっすりざっくり貫いて真っ赤な血の噴水を天井にまで届かせてやるよ。死ねー。カノン君。
Shit, Ganon. After flying about wildly for some time with a speed approaching the limits of what a human eye could follow, Lucifer flew at Ganon's heart. She could tell that it was Ganon's blood by the sweet taste of it. But she quickly noticed one thing. She hadn't pierced his heart.
ほう。
これだから人間は恐ろしい。紅茶はいかがですかな。
今はよい。紅茶もいらぬほどに面白い。
カノ君。
Shh. What the hell did Cannon do?
おごったな。だからお前は僕に勝てないんだ。
The floor was stained with dripping blood. It really was Cannon's blood, but it wasn't flowing out of his chest. Cannon had sacrificed his own left hand to protect his heart. Oh shit. Lucifer was arrogant. Even though she'd been given enough time to realize that this was an opponent capable of cornering her, in her pride she had believed him to be worthless. She had gotten careless. So just as she had announced, she had aimed for his chest, trying to pierce his heart. Because she was arrogant, she hadn't even thought of aiming for somewhere other than the place she had announced. No, maybe she had thought about it a little. However, sheer pride would not allow her to aim for a different spot. After all, she was Lucifer Pride. Cannon, withstanding the pain, grasped the demon stake sticking deep into his left hand strongly with his right hand, and pulled it out. When she heard the sound of breaking bones and even more blood dripping down, Shannon looked away reflexively. There was an air hole in the back of the pierced hand so big you could clearly see food to the other side. Ooh, Jesus. Ken's face was filled with pain, but right now, he had won without a doubt. The demon stake he was gripping with his right hand turned back into Lucifer again, so that Kennen was now gripping exactly where her neck was.
僕の勝ちだ。
Break it! Break it, Kennen!
ベアトリーチェ。
Kennen didn't hold back at all with the hand gripping Lucifer's throat. She had challenged him again after their fight had already been decided. Kennen had no obligation to be considerate. But even so, Kennen released the witch's furniture. Was it his naive humanism, his pity for another furniture, or a final bit of respect to the witch? In any case, when she was released, Lucifer fell face down in the ground, retching and moaning over the pain in her throat.
お見事ですよ、カノン。あなたの奮闘により、金蔵の研究の正しさが一つ実証されました。
Wolnov was clapping his hands. Cannon, who had won at great cost and had a wound on his left hand that wouldn't close, Wolnov's applause only felt like mockery.
人の心はあらゆる可能性を秘めるか。いやはやこれだから人間は恐ろしい。あっぱれであるぞカノン。そなたは勝利した。見事だ。
大丈夫？カノン君。
Shannon ran up to him and wrapped a handkerchief around his left hand, which was still sporting blood.
見事であるぞカノン。実に見事である。わらわも少しは番狂わせを期待した。それを裏切らぬとは、そなたは誠に素晴らしき家具であるぞ。
Even when you fucking win, she still turns it in your chest that she still enjoys it.
見直した。正直見直したぞ。
いや、約束を忘れてはいないだろうな、ベアトリーチ
ェ。もちろん忘れてはおらぬぞ。
Oh, there's gotta be a catch. There's always a fucking catch.
魔女も悪魔も非道ではある。だがしかし、契約に限っては人間など及ばぬほどに高潔だ。 わらわは保護にはせん。そなたが勝利したなら13人の生贄を逃れることができる5人を自由に決める権利を保証した。
Hey, at least this supports my theory about the deals in episode 1 and episode 2 between Beatrice and most likely Rudolph and Rosa. So, you know, at least this is supporting my theory, huh?
ベアトリーチェ様、私はまだ敗れたわけでは。
Oh, shit. When Beatrice waved her pipe, heaven and earth turned over just for Lucifer. Fucking Sea Moon. So as a horribly natural result, she fell onto the ceiling. The ceiling didn't seem that high to people standing on the floor. However, people who fall on it upside down with and head first usually don't agree.
お嬢様、さすがにやりすぎでは。
それもそうであるな。許してやるか。
Beatrice waved her pipe again. When she did, the magic that had been affecting Lucifer was released. So, as a horribly natural result, this time she fell properly back onto the floor. Damn. Shit.
ベアトリーチェ様、お許しを。
何を怯えておるか。わらはもはや許したぞ。さてカノン、続けようではないか。
何をだ。まさか彼女にとどめを刺せとでも言うつもりなのか。
ああ、違う違う。まだ終わっちゃいないだろうが。
何をだ。
Deal.
はぐらかすな。
わらわは確かにそなたと約束したぞ。わらわの家具、煉獄の七杭を打ち破ったなら、
Fucking knew it. God damn it. I knew it.
さあおいでなさい。煉獄の七杭。
God damn it.
不甲斐なき長女の6人の妹たち。
God damn it. I knew it. Goddamn wording. Well, shit. The air split with shrill laughter, and as a golden splash scattered about, the remaining 6 sisters of Purgatory showed themselves. All of the 7 sisters of Purgatory were here after Ken was able to defeat one only by sacrificing his left arm. By now, Kenan regretted his thoughtlessness in accepting the witch's challenge. He had been foolish to assume that a game against a witch would be on an even footing.
だっせー。お姉様、どうして床に這いつくばってるの？
お前たち。だからお姉様はダメなのよ。長女を偉そうに名乗るくせに上っ面だけなのよ。まったくルシファーお姉様一人の集体が私たちへの評価を下げるのよ。恥を知りなさいな、この未熟者が。
すごいすごい。でもいい気にならないことよ。ルシファーお姉様なんて威張ってるだけで姉妹の子じゃ大したことないんだから。
だからルシファー姉は何もしなくていいといつも言っている。お姉様は威張ってだけいればいい。荒事は全て優秀な私たちで片付けるのだから。
お姉様、どうする？私たちはお姉様のプライドを尊重して、そのボロボロの体で再び挑むのを期待して手出しをしないつもりなんだけれど。でもカノン君は強いわよね。今のお姉様じゃ もうどうあがいても勝ち目はないわよね。お前たち。
やれやれ、いつも賑やかな姉妹たちであるな。今は仲違いをしている場合か。そなたらは7人揃ってこその煉獄の7姉妹であろうが、
Oh boy.
仲良くしてわらわの仕事を遂行せよ。迅速に。
ねえルシファーお姉様、私たち妹の力が借りたいのよ。言ってよ。お姉様の口から助けを求める言葉が聞きたいの。
私はこれ以上苦労する気か。
愚かでひ弱で見苦しくて情けない。
Great sisters here.
この長女のルシファーをどうか妹の皆様お助けくださいってねえ聞かせてよ。それを聞かせてくれたら助けてあげる。それでいいわよねみんな。
お前たちおのれ。
The seven sisters of Purgatory unanimously closed in on their worthless sister, abusing her. Even Canon, who had been fighting for his wife until a second ago, couldn't bear to look at it.
私がそのようなことを口にできるものか。
早くせよ。
I do feel a little bad, a little tiny bit bad for Lucifer, just a tiny amount, a little bit.
どうせお前一人では拉致が開かぬわ。早く7姉妹にてカノンを撃て。
そら、どうしましたかルシファー。お嬢様の命令です
ひどい。
After grinding her teeth over and over after hearing her sister's curses, Lucifer trembled all over and answered her sister's request.
愚きひ弱で見苦しくて
情けない
情けないこの長女ルシファーをどうか。
The girl known as Pride was finally unable to endure the words she was saying and broke down crying. However, the 6 younger sisters kept giggling cold-heartedly. Aw, I mean,
ちょっと
damn it. God damn it, Ryukushu 7. Don't make me fucking like these characters. You motherfucker, don't make me feel bad.
泣いてごまかさないで。まだいいっつってない。
もう十分だろう。さあ姉妹たち、我らの力を見せてやろう。
私は全部聞かなきゃ満足しないわよ。ほらほらお姉様続けてよ。
もう十分よ。
What the hell is this version of Wife's End?
さあこの屈辱は姉妹全員の屈辱。生かして返しはしないわよ。
さて哀れな家具をどのように遊んでやろうかしら。
Holy shit, this music's good.
素敵な提案はある？はいはい。ベルゼは仲良く7人でカノン君を分けっこしたらいいと思います。
良い提案だな。それでなら姉妹でみんな仲良しだ。
なら私頭部ね。手足はあんたらにあげるわ。やだやだダメ。私が頭なの。
そんな約束意味があるわけないでしょ。早い者勝ちに決まってるわ。
Oh, god damn it, I just realized something too. I can't even say it's the damn golden butterflies because we haven't seen the golden butterflies around here. At least in episode 2, every time a magical scene happened, there was a bunch of golden butterflies. Here, we got nothing. So, fuck, I can't even fall back on that. Shit.
どんな殺され方がいいかカノン君の提案があったら教えてね。七姉妹でとびっきりの殺し方をしてあげる。
くそここまで恥をかかせたんだもの。八つ咲きでも足りない。百咲きにしてくれる。行くよお前たち。
Shit. The 7 of them burst at once. They had no intention of playing or boasting. This time they would genuinely follow their master's order. Take Kennen down swiftly. Holy shit. The 7 sisters jumped around the room faster than the eye could see, examining how they could best kill Kennen. They tortured Kennen with their cruel giggles, sometimes making a close pass at him. They kept scraping his arms, shoulders, and cheeks, gradually carving red letters into his body. At that moment, Shannon dashed up behind him, holding onto him so that she could block the way to his body at least a little. Oh shit, the shield. At the same time, a red cylinder wrapped around the 2 of them like a beam of light sent from heaven. That cylinder repelled the evil ones who tormented Kennen.
何？ずるい。あんたは関係ないでしょ。
きっとこれはあれよ。私たちと一緒に遊びたいのよ。
なら私がもらうわ。いっただき。ベアトリーチェ様、シャノンを私たちの獲物にしても？
ああ、構わんぞ、好きにしろ。お前たちの悪時期にはカノン一人では足らなかろうしな。
ありがたき幸せ。さあ、シャシャリ出てきたことを後悔させてやろう。
どっちがどっちかわからないくらいの肉片にして混ぜて混ぜてミンチにしてハンバーグにしてあげる。
Oh, horrifying.
バカね。それよりあの結界を破る方が先でしょうが。食い意地より先に仕事しなさい。
はい、お姉さん。
As a horribly natural first reaction, the 7 sisters began to destroy the barrier Shannon had created. Shannon's barrier certainly was strong. It was powerful enough to impress even Beatrice. With its strength, frail furniture would turn to dust just by touching it. Yet it was firm like a tree with deep roots. But no matter how big a tree gets, it will eventually surrender to a saw or a hatchet. For the 7 sisters, chopping down Shannon's barrier would be annoying but not impossible. As a sound like beetles jumping about grew even fiercer and filled the room. The wood barrier began to be cut up and eroded away as though with a hatchet, a saw, no, a chainsaw by now. Shit, man.
君の結界ではその子たちを防ぎきれないことは知っていたでしょうに。
Genji, do something, man! You've just been standing in the fucking corner!
なぜ？
見過ごせないからです。
The Shannon-covered cannon who was already at his limits sprawled out on the floor as she spoke back resolutely.
シャシャリでなければ眠るような死を与えてやったのに。
Yeah, you said the same thing to Kenzo. He burned from the inside out.
なぜわざわざ七姉妹の前に身をさらすのか。死は同じではないぞ。苛烈な死は 死してなお苛むぞ。
どうぞお好きなように。あなたがしたいことを好きにするように、私もしたいことを好きにしたまでです。
どうにもそなたはこのところ面白みに欠けるな。恋というやつは達するかどうかのあたりが一番面白い。
No, it's not. I mean, well, people watch romance, animes and romance movies. Fuck.
達してしまった後の女はさながら産卵を終えた鮭のごとしか。そなたにはもう飽きた。
ありがとう。魔女から聞ける言葉で最も嬉しい言葉です。
Good, yes. Good for you, Shannon.
ならせめて最後にわらを思いっきり喜ばせる死に方をしてみせろよ。七姉妹よ、聞こえたな。シャノンの殺し方、お前たちの残虐の限りを見せてみよ。
シャノン
Genji, come on.
申し訳ございません。やはり私には源氏様の高みには至れませんでした。
Come on, Genji, do something, man. Like anything at all.
姉さんはバカだ。僕なんか放っておけば姉さんまでひどい目に遭うことは。
いいの。ジョージ様に指輪をもらって女として生きられた。あなたをかばって姉として生きられた。
Aw.
私のせいはすべてこれで未練なく全うした。
イライラするぜ。その達観が本当にイラつくぜ。だから家具なんだよ。お前からは人間の匂いがしねえんだよ。
Keep going, Shannon, damn it.
わらわを見ろよ。わらわこそ人間だろうが。
What?
家具のくせにわらわよりも完成されたかのような、達観したかのようなことを言うんじゃね
醜い。その未練があなたの正体なの。
え。未練じゃねえ。それが生きるってもんだ。指輪もらったから死んでもいいとか。理解できねえ。さっぱりがっかり愕然呆然、全然ダメだぜ。
お嬢様、少し品がないか
うるさいわ家具が。シャノン、楽に死なせてもらえると思うなよ。舌を噛むなら今のうちだ。
哀れね。もしも私の目にあなたのその姿が映ってそれが見えるなら、己が醜さにおののくといい。
Yeah, get her ass,
安
Shannon.
心しろよ。てめえはそれよりさらにめちゃくちゃぐちゃぐちゃに生きながら醜く潰してやるからよ。
At that time, Genji softly entered the red barrier. Perhaps that barrier didn't block those without an ill intent. Then Genji gently held her from behind and covered her eyes with his right hand.
源氏様、
もう十分だ。
Ah!
先に休みなさい。
Oh, what?
はい、ありがとうございます、源氏様。
Oh, shit. After that, Genji softly pressed his left hand near her collarbone. As he did, emanating from that area, a crimson stage and whispered out. When Genji removed his hand, bright red fresh blood oozed out of there. It only happened for the first instant, and it was shaped like a crimson rose. And when he removed his right hand covering her face, there was a peaceful expression there, as though she was sleeping. And she fell softly, silently, and slept. Her soul had already been sent to a world where the malicious witch and her furniture could not reach her, no matter how evilly they tortured her. This scene left Beatrice and the Seven Sisters stunned. Only Wonov wore a mysterious smile. Then Genji leaned over Cannon, who was crouching on the floor.
よく頑張った。お前ももう休むといい。
はい。ありがとうございます。刑事様。
Just as he had done with Shannon, he softly covered Ken's eyes with his hand, then gently pressed the area around Ken's collarbone with his other hand. And when his hand was removed with the whiteness of a feather, there was a crimson rose there. I guess this is truly the only thing Genji can do. At least it's better than Beatrice torturing them to just let them die by a hand of a friend and able to sleep peacefully. But that rose shape quickly turned into the stain of bright red blood pouring out.
何よそれ。
つまらぬやつ。生命の風船は針にてつき、威勢よく割るから面白いのだろうが。
見事です、源氏。それでこそ家具です。
ありがとうございます。それではベアトリーチェ様、ロノウェ様、これをもって私の最後のお務めとし、
わらわの楽しみを勝手に奪いおって。
You don't get to have your fun, you bitch.
この二人をギッタギタのぐっちゃぐちゃにしたかった分、そなたがそれを変わるのであろうな。
Beatrice faced him with an unsatisfied expression, but Wonov spoke quietly to Genji with a soothing smile.
ご苦労でした。あなたは私の最高のしもべです。これまでの労をねぎらうに値する安らかな眠りをあなたへの最後の褒美として取らせましょ
う。おい、勝手な真似を。
When Wonov snapped his fingers, Genji slumped to the floor like a puppet with his strings cut. Suddenly and yet gently, he crumpled, falling to a sleep that no witch could call him back from. It was as filled with kindness as the sleep he had given Shin and Cannon. That's a pretty cool thing to do, Wonov, even though you still killed him, but, you know.
なんだよ、ロノウェ。拍子抜けでつまらぬぞ。
お嬢様は偉大なる大魔女ではございませんか。この程度気に留めるほどにもございませんよ。シャノンごときの挑発で頭に血を上らせるなどらしくもない。
What was it that had Beatrice so irritated? Was she still unable to remove the thorn of Shannon's words? Wonov laughed lightly, as though lamenting the complexity of humanity in a woman's heart, and ordered the Seven Sisters to go. After all, there were still 2 sacrifices left for the first twilight. The Seven Sisters disappeared in ecstasy. shit, there are 2 left. What a chapter. But I like that ending. I don't know, it felt peaceful, you know. Goda was doing the nighttime rounds. Wokenjima had always been empty, except for the usual Mira family household. So checking that the doors and windows were all closed had no real purpose. However, ever since the time Natsuhi had condemned such an attitude as being careless, the nighttime rounds had become part of the servant's daily routine. In the first place, Natsuhi had ordered this because of the occasional witch disturbances. Everyone who came and left this island knew about the legend of Beatrice, the Witch of the Forest. It had become established as this island's characteristic ghost story. Because of that, it was only natural that some people would claim that, when they thought they were alone in the mansion, they would hear a strange sound or see the shadow of a person. However, when that created a little too much of a disturbance and reached Natsuhi's ears, she made a fuss, thinking that some suspicious person might have been entering and leaving. Apparently, she had aroused all the servants and had them check throughout the mansion. Because of all that panic over the witch had happened before Goda's arrival, he had only heard about it from the more senior servants. Ghost stories like that could be found in any workplace, even at the hotels and restaurants Goda had worked at. There had been plenty of them. So when he heard about that story in this island, he had given a forced smile, thinking, so they have that kind of thing here after all. If that forced smile aside, he had figured that when in Rome, do as the Romans do, and had taken it seriously. Goda went along with it on the outside, but in his heart, he'd seemed it to be a childish trick. At first, that is.
これは確かに不気味ですね。なるほど。過去の使用人たちがいろいろと騒ぎたくなる気持ちもわかるものです。
Dude, what if all the... Shit, what if the first Twilight is all the servants? Because we only have 2 left, it's Goda and Kumasawa. Ah, shit. Hey, at least this time we can actually see the adults, be alive. So, he could understand how someone doing the rounds on an eerie night like this might believe they'd seen a ghost if they saw a lace curtain waving in the breeze from the window that had been closed.
肖像画の魔女をバカにするとたたりがあるか。大怪我をして辞めた使用人もいるらしいし、怪我は勘弁だな。俺もこの年だ。二度とこんな厚遇の職場には恵まれねえだろうよ。まあ、肖像画の魔女様、真面目に働きますんで、一つ穏便に頼みます。
Goda prayed to the portrait, his hands together, as though he was at a Shinto shrine. Oh, fuck. At that time, he thought he heard a sound. The kitchen? Was that the sound of something metal falling on the floor? Maybe a mouse or a cockroach had come out and knocked over some of the dishes. No, how could that be? It was usually clean thoroughly. Thinking he checked out what that noise really had been, Goda entered the kitchen. He turned on the kitchen light. When he did, he heard a strange sound. Clank, 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 clank. To a cook like Goda, the sound felt like the lid on a pressure cooker or something shaking. Surely there wouldn't be a pot on the burner when no one was in the kitchen. Even if someone was using the gas, walking away from it would be quite dangerous. Just in case, Goda decided to inspect the area around the gas range. When he did, in the corner with the gas range, the pressure cooker really had been set out just as he thought. But the flame wasn't on. And yet the lid was clanking. Was something fermenting and leaking gas? How could that be? Then was there a mouse or something inside? How could there be? Ridiculous. When people were watching, Goda acted as though he had a bold personality fitting for his build, but he actually had an unexpectedly timid side to him. He was frightened that there might be something inside, and he couldn't bring himself to check it curiously. In his cowardice, he grabbed a nearby wooden pestle, and with it, clunk. He tapped it a little forcefully against the side of the pressure cooker. When he did, the clinking sound suddenly stopped. He should have been relieved that it stopped. But the fact that it had stopped when he hit it was even more eerie. It made him even more suspicious about what was inside.
この世に怪奇現象なんて存在しませんとも。そんな魔女も魔法もそんなもの存在するわけがない。
What's in the fucking pressure cooker?
すべての現象は科学的に説明できるんです。
Come on, be a man of science, be like Jack Shepard, Goda.
お化けも魔女もいてたまるもんですか。
He repeated that many times, trying to build up his own confidence. The gap between what he was saying and what he was doing was quite comical.
何が魔女だ。何が魔法だ。たたりだ。
Damn, Umineko is kind of like Wasa in certain aspects. There's about, 18 characters all stuck on an island, supernatural shit happening, science versus faith. Kind of similar themes. Similar setting, definitely, but, you know.
そら、正体を見せてみろ。そら。
He removed the lid of the pressure cooker. And wine exposed there was a sparkling green silver bottom of the pot. Uh-oh. There was absolutely nothing frightening like he imagined. Do not look behind you, Goda.
そりゃ当然です。
Don't look behind you.
中に何もいるわけがない。
By now, Goda realized that he had been a coward. So, while he still had some doubts as to what had caused the wood to make that sound, he figured it wasn't a big problem and decided not to worry about it too much. Then he took the wood he grabbed and softly set it back down where it had been. It's fine. It won't make a sound. Of course it won't. As if witches or magic could exist. Quink. Quink, 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 quink. Oh, it's one of the fucking stakes I hit. Quink, 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 quink. Quink, 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 quink. All the pots and dishes in the kitchen started clinking at once. Oh shit. It grew even stronger so that finally the lid to one of the pots fell off. And from the inside the pot, a slender white arm reached out. What the fuck? Lids fell off the other pots one after the other, another, and another, and another.
魔女なんかいるもんか。信じるもんか。
When the number of arms grew to 7, a loud shrill laughter split the air. Oh, fuck, Goda, no!
かっこいい。これほどの美味しいお料理を作れる人がこんな小物なんて本当にがっかり。
あんたいらないんなら私がもらうわ。いっただき。
ちょっとダメだってば。
私がもらうんだから。
One, Goda, one! Shit. Man, poor fucking Goda, dude. This nobody deserves this shit, man. But still, even Goda, I feel like it's just so much more tragic with Goda because he's just a guy. He's just a worker, man. He doesn't know about any of this shit. It's the same thing with Nanjo. Come on, let's search. There's only one more. That old hag. Oh no, Kumasawa! Where is she? She isn't in the mansion. What about the guest house? First one wins, right? Come on, search. Find her. They'll be noticed by the relatives in the dining hall, right? They'll be noticed by the kids in the guest house, right? Search in silence, kill in silence. After all, it's still just the first twilight. She is in the guest house, but she wasn't in the mansion either, right? Hey, I found her, she's in the rose garden. Why, she's standing around there with an umbrella. She's already given up. All mine, all mine, all mine. You blockheads can just sit there and watch. I told you, no, this one's mine. Come on, if we take any longer, we'll be scolded by Beatrice-sama. Let's take care of it all at once. There, found her, surrounded her. Come on, let's get along and do it all at once, okay? Die!
Oh, shit!
What? やんちゃなお嬢さんたちだこと。あの子のお友達かしら。
何こいつ、ババアのくせに。
Wouldn't you be friends with that child?
何かの間違いよ。もう一度。
Holy shit.
こいつ、どうして私たちを防げるの？
どいて！もう一度よ！
何度やっても無駄だ。この個人、できる。
私はあの子を待っているのです。どうか呼んできてはくれませんか？
I'm gonna make a prediction right here. What if that woman at the beginning of this episode, what was that? What if that was Kumasawa? That would be 20 years ago, though. I'm just making a prediction. Fuck it, you know.
そのようなデッチ暴行、私たちがすると思う？
その必要はない。
ベアトリーチェ様。
私が権限するほどでございます。必ずやお目覚めと思いました。
Had awakened.
ローノウェイ、久しぶりですね。本当に久しぶりです。
こいつ、ロノウェ様を呼びつけに。
そしてあなたもお久しぶりですね、ベアトリーチェ。
こいつ、ベアトリーチェ様までも呼びつけに。
よい。そのお方をどなたと心得るか。
Son of a bitch, you fucking is handsome.
ベアトリーチェとは、そもそもそのお方の名。
What the fuck?
わらわはそれを受け継いだに過ぎぬ。
What the fuck?
そのお方こそはわらわの師匠、先代ベアトリーチェ教だ。
先代ベアトリーチェ教。
Gold butterflies appeared in ones and twos from the garden of roses and began to gather around Kumasawa. Then, after she was wrapped in a golden sparkle, she burst and disappeared, and Kumasawa's form was no longer there. Instead, there was another golden witch, the one who once taught the path of an endless witch to Beatrice, and the only person Beatrice ever called teacher. Her hair was long, beautiful, vividly youthful. and her figure in that elegant dress couldn't possibly have been mistaken for an old lady. No, this looked like a completely different person from Kumasawa. Yeah, no shit.
これはお師匠様。再びお会いできる日が訪れるとは夢にも思いませんでした。
ええ、私もですよ。よもやまた眠りを妨げられるとは夢にも思いませんでした。
Sleep?
まったく厄介なところでお目覚めになられる。いつもの通りお休みであられたなら、第一の晩を何も手こずることなく終えられるのに。
So what caused her to awaken and...
いや、むしろ歓迎すべきですかな。少々退屈しておりましたところで。
相変わらず悪趣味な遊びで罪もない人々をもてあそんでいるようですね。無限の魔女の力は決して人に迷惑をかけることに使ってはならないと何度も教えたはずですよ。
そう言うなよ、お師匠様。退屈は私たちの天敵じゃありませんか。それから逃れるためのちょっとしたスパイスに過ぎませんよ。侵食が進めば進むほどにわらわの力は強くなり、わらわの眷属は呼び出しやすくなる。
I'm now thinking back to, there was a comment last episode about, I think specifically, the only person that was common between all 3 episodes of not appearing during the whole, before the first Twilight is Kumasawa. And I have no idea how to process this information.
しかし、それは同時にお師匠様の封印を解くことにもつながったとはな。
The more the corrosion advances, the stronger my power becomes. I wonder, as we continue through the episodes, I wonder if this corrosion just keeps spreading and the fucking, world becomes more and more fantastical. The game world becomes more and more magical as we continue on through these episodes. Because in the first episode, grounded. Second episode, magic. Third episode, now we got this shit. But okay. Seal.
それを予見していたからこそ、私はこうしてあなたのすぐ近くで眠りについたのですよ。願わくば二度と起こされぬことを夢見ながら。
So who sealed her in the first place?
こうしてあなたと再会してしまったのは私にとってはとても悲しいことです。
相変わらずお師匠様は食えない。
ロノウェ、家具の子たちを下げなさい。家具は主に仕えるだけです。すべての罪は主が背負います。
かしこまりました。マダム・ベアトリーチェ。
その名はもうその子に譲りました。さあ下がりなさい、家具の娘たち。私は一度聞かぬとしても二度言います。しかし三度目は口にしませんよ。
Are we about to watch Kurosawa beat the shit out of Beatrice?
煉獄の七姉妹。巻き添いになれば塵と化しますよ。
What the fuck will this look like?
下がれみんな。
Walnov and the Seven Sisters of Purgatory retreated. After that, what remained was that the Beatrice whose daring expression didn't falter, and the teacher Beatrice who had given up that name and wore a composed smile. Yeah, technically we have 3 fucking Beatrices. We have the human one, we have the witch one, and we have the teacher one. Fucking Beatrice. The 3 Bs!
さて お師匠様、久しぶりの再会にはどんなお茶のご用意が良いかな。
そうですね。ほうき星の訪れよりも久しい再会です。もてなしてもらいましょうか。粗相があるようならば、我が名と無限の魔女の称号返してもらいますよ。
No, of course the person who would seal her away would be Beatrice herself, wouldn't it?
無限の魔女にも免許更新制度があったとはな。仰せのままに、お師匠様。あなたの弟子がどれほど立派になったか。
I mean, magic doesn't exist. Whatever. Man, I don't know how to fucking explain this shit, man.
そしてとっくの昔にどれほどあなたを凌駕したか、とくとご覧に入れましょう。
The air between the two Beatrices seemed to explode with sparks. Shit. Just by glaring at each other, they purged all spirits from that space. As they watched, the seven sisters shivered. After all, if they had retreated just 3 steps west than they had, they would have already been turned to dust by now.
さあ、いらっしゃい。ベアトリーチェ。あなたにその名を譲ったことが私の生涯でただ一度の後悔です。その過ちを今自らの手で修正しましょう。
そりゃあ違うぜ、お師匠様。わらわのただ一度の過ちはこの程度の力を学ぶのにあんたに弟子入りしちまったことだぜ。何が無限の魔女だ。こんなの気づくだけの力じゃねえかよ。
Noticing.
それをもったいぶって偉そうによ。
It's noticing me.
お前の出番はとっくに終わってんだよ、お師匠様よ。
Oh shit. Holy shit, what is this song? Oh. Whoa. God damn, this is like fucking Toho music. Wait. Honestly, Battle Royale, neither do I got nothing. This is a completely different game than the game we were just playing. I know I keep saying that, but I still can't, stop saying it.
かわいそう。私の弟子が迷惑をかけています。
Now you're here too? Okay.
謝ります。
あんた何者なんだ。熊沢のばあちゃんがどうしてこんな姉ちゃんに化けるんだ。つうかあんた誰だよ。
I mean, yeah.
わけがわからねえ。これは何の特撮なんだ。俺は頭がどうにかなっちまいそうだ。
Honestly, throughout this entire episode, I've had the dumbest look on my fucking face. I'll be honest.
私はあの子の魔女の師匠です。かつての名はベアトリーチェ。あの子が私を継ぐときにその名を送ったため、今は名を持ちません。
あんたがすでに言い切っちまってるが俺はあんたの弟子のせいで大いに迷惑しているぜ。
Real pain in the ass.
頼むから責任取って何とかしてくれ。じゃなくて俺はこんなの信じねえぞ。
I mean,
魔女も魔法もあるもんか。こんなめちゃくちゃバトル俺は認めねえぞ。くそったな。 俺は何を信じりゃいいんだ。
Man, I don't know about her. All I can do is watch. That's all I can do.
あなたらしいとても短気なもてなしですね。さすがお師匠様。この程度じゃバカバカしくてまぶたを開く気にもならないらしい。島ごとぶっ壊す気でなきゃ無理らしいぜ。さあさあおいでなさい。双剣の戦闘。
Shoulder war towers? Excuse me? What the fuck is happening? In response to Beatrice's summons, a terrific earth tremor split the rose garden. And on either side of her shoulders, two massive war towers spouted and stabbed into the heavens. Well, there's another chess motif, but what the fuck? They stretched up to 100 metral tall, and each had over 360 ports. Okay, let's see what metral means in the tips real quick, so we can have a little, thing here. Metral. The word is probably relative to the fictional unit of length from Nasuka of the Valley of the Wind, which seems to be about 1 meter long. I think I've heard about that anime before. I need to look it up after this. But anyway, back to this shit. There were the war towers of the gods' army corps, which had prevented even groups of ancient heroes from invading their sacred grounds. Yep. As Beatrice elegantly floated in the gap between the massive two head towers, she looked down on her teacher, sneering with a sense of absolute superiority. With the two massive towers lined up behind her shoulders, the witch looked very small, like a butterfly dancing between huge trees.
蝶に化ければ買わせるとか思うなよ。双子島の弾幕密度じゃあんた虫ピンの昆虫標本どころかめった刺しの針刺し人形だぜ。
Over 720 ports opened on the towers, and godly soldiers readied their multi-shot ballistas. What the fuck is happening? What the fuck?
それであなたの手番は終了です。
God, I feel like I'm going mad.
それが遺言かよ。
This is insane.
ぶっ放せ。
Shit! The ballista shots that numbered over 1,000 were all fired at once, drawing a beautiful geometric curtain of death. The bullish sound as the bowstrings were played was probably even deeper than that of a reaper swinging its sickle.
さあさあおいでなさい。墜落せし塔よ。一なる言語をはぜ、その罪を知らしめよ。
The single language? Fuck! The sky was stained in incandescent red and formed between the clouds a blazing massive tower fell upside down. The massive falling tower in its rubble sucked in the thousands of ballista shots so that not one of them approached the body of the witch who had summoned it. That's right, no group of people, no matter how large, could approach the mysteries of heaven. That was the reality of the fallen tower.
さすがお師匠様。いちいちやることがでけえや。私の手番は終わりませんよ。
Oh gosh, yes, his
さ
wand.
あさあおいでなさい。イバルディの息子たち。
Sons of Ivity.
我にふさわしき槍を与えたまえ。
As the massive crimson tower that had fallen made a terrible gold-colored explosion, a massive spear appeared from the inside those flames, so tall like a tower that you had to look up to see all of it. It was too large even for a giant's hand. That divinely beautiful spear of the gods was so massive it gave the illusion that the fallen tower had been turned into a spear of the same size. It was a spear of a certain victory that no one could escape. God damn, we just gone into like fucking the Skya like specials, like it's special attacks. Like what the fuck?
無用の双子塔ですね。自ら左右の退路を断つとは愚かしい。一本の槍をもお前は防げない。
The She snapped her fingers in command. The massive tower-sized spear shot at Beatrice with a lightning bolt. It aimed right for the middle of the center of the Golden Witch's heart with extreme precision. As she danced in the gap between the two towers like a butterfly, she sliced it straight through the air like a flash of lightning.
こんなところでグングニルが弾けるとは。
That's Gungnir?
やっぱりお師匠様はすげえな。ハゼロ、役立たずの塔。いでよ、巨人兵の戦列よ。
Oh my god.
その盾と胸で神なる槍を防ぎきれ。
The shoulder war towers exploded in gold. They became several billion gold butterflies. Those butterflies took the shape of 7 massive armored soldiers, each stretch a full 50 metri into the sky, and they lined up in front of Beatrice, protecting their master, holding massive shields that towered like windmills. Dude, they were as massive as a mountain range. The witch behind them was like a small moon hiding behind the mountains. Once in the past, when the massive shields these giants held had been readied by the whole regiment, they had protected King Wilhelm's castle not only from arrows but from the wind and rain. For when they had faced upwards and held their shields to the heavens, not a single raindrop had gone through.
神聖への敬いを忘れた魔女の哀れなことです。神の槍を巨人ごときで防げるとお思いですか？
Yeah, especially Odin's spear, but anyway.
道理ですね。人間の金属でいくら武装しようとも神の槍は防げません。マダムの見事なエポレットメイトです。
そんなベアトリーチェ様。
もちろん忘れませんともお師匠様。さあさあおいでなさい、ヘファイストスと弟子たち。
Hephaestus?
我にふさわしき盾を与えたまえ。
Oh, shit. A golden whirlwind rose at the feet of the giant soldiers. It was a cloud of countless butterflies. They attached themselves to the massive shields like gold leaves, sparkling like they were a gold mirror. It was the absolute defensive wall given to the goddess by the chief of the gods. The Aegis shield. Oh my god. What the fuck? When the holy spear, which left a dignified trail behind it like a comet, crashed into the mountain range of that gold shield, there was a terrible, thunderous roar. It was a creaking of the pillars that held up the heavens. The divine spear spun around and around and was sent flying in the direction of the setting sun.
ありえない。真相を防いだ。
いいえ、違います。神なる槍が避けたのです。絶対の槍と絶対の盾は争ってはいけないのが神々の掟。
Absolute defense versus absolute offense.
それはつまり防いだのと同じことですよね。
An immovable object versus unmovable object versus a bullet train, whatever. I can't even think right now. I can't.
このような荒事ばかり腕を上げました。
Like, what the fuck, man? This is awesome. This is 100% awesome, by the way. All the CGs are fucking great. This is awesome. But at the same time, I can't think.
むしろお師匠様はこういうお遊びが相変わらず苦手なようで。わらわからのお返しだ。法典にのっとり、槍には槍でお返ししましょうぜ。
The giant soldier battle line, which had fully blocked the divine spear, released its holy gold shields. The shields fell to the earth, making the ground shake. When they did, another golden whirlwind arose. The 7 gold shields changed their forms into 7 massive spears of lightning lining the ground. At once, each of the giants lifted one of their legs high and firmly stomped at the tips of the handles. What the fuck? As the earth shook with a thunderous sound, the 7 lightning spears spun beautifully and flew up above the giant soldiers' heads. They scattered into a cold splash and began to fall before the giants. Each of the giants squared off when, with the force of their whole body, they kicked and smashed them. The broken pieces numbered exactly 30 and became lightning spears of exactly the same size as the originals, which made 210 for the 7 giants, and all of those burst at once, with each splitting to 34, and for a total of 6,300. They became a barrage of thunder clouds, drawing a beautiful geometric pattern, and then each charged into 3 bolts of lightning, so that 18,900 thunderbolts shot at their predecessor, Beatrice. Dude, the finishing moves in the fucking Umineko fighting game must be fucking awesome. That bundle of almost 200,000 thunderbolts must have reduced the teacher's body to dust, but there had been no resistance. Beatrice knew immediately that she had been fooled. At that time, from the direction that the sun had supposedly set, she felt the impossible waves of sunlight. A glowing ray of light shone on her profile. It was the figure of her teacher, holding aloft the spear of the gods that had supposedly been repelled a short while ago. She bore a sparkle like the sun on her back and made it shine on the incarnation of darkness. As Beatrice watched, she was trapped like a mouse in a cage, cornered in a dead end formed by the giant soldiers' battle line. By now, the predecessor Beatrice had seized the position directly alongside that line.
これでお遊戯の時間はおしまいですよ、ベアトリーチェ。このわらわが側面を許しただと。
Her bold expression hadn't faltered even once, but now it twisted for the first time. And faster than Beatrice could click her tongue, the predecessor Beatrice released the holy spear. As it leapt through the air, it changed its form once more. Dervigar brothers? Dervigar from Norse mythology, I think. Oh my god. By now, it was no longer a spear, but a whirlwind of a massive hammer that raised a sound like a windstorm as it flew through the air. It was the legendary hammer that had shaken over the king of the frost giants. So the giant soldiers couldn't escape from that fear and more draw near. So regardless of how strongly their master ordered them, they couldn't get in the path of that hammer. Before the whirlwind of that massive clunk of metal, Beatrice was nothing more than a mere speck. The instant the whirlwind started to suck Beatrice in, she appeared to change into a massive war tower. What the fuck, dude? The iron hammer smashed the war tower, scattering tremendous amounts of rubble, but it did not reach she who had escaped behind it. Furthermore, when the smoke started to settle, the war tower had sucked in the massive iron hammer without crumbling blocked the way. Even the giant smashing iron hammer couldn't break through the final tower protecting the witch. However, the war tower was actually the witch's last trump card, and it was a war tower for dodging that could only save her from danger once. But this tower is impregnable. No weapon could break through it. At that time, the moon disappeared. As Beatrice hid in the shadows of the giant soldier battle line in the war tower, she looked up at the sky. What the fuck? What she did inside the moon was the figure of a massive horse ridden by the god of war and death. The predecessor Beatrice wore the horse with him. His cloak had blocked the moon and swallowed it in the eerie shadow, and the spear of the gods was in his hand once more. In other words, it was a godly knight who had jumped over the ramp, ponds formed by the giant soldiers in the war tower attacking from the heavens. Oh my god. I can't even explain this, man.
楽しかったですよ、ベアトリーチェ。
The struggle to the death between the two witches with the same name was over. The spear that had been launched from the heavens pierced the ground. The giant soldier better wine, and the war tower split up into countless gold butterflies, wrapping the area in a gold-colored storm. Then came the sound of thunder, and the sound of the falling rain and wind. If you looked around, the rose garden was empty. The blood and the rust were watching the two witches confronting each other. But Beatrice's world had changed. She had been pierced straight through by the spear from the base of her neck and her right shoulder to her left buttocks. Unable to even reach the ground with her feet. Jeez. Horribly exposed like a pitiful pinned butterfly tormented by the wind and rain.
Beatrice 様。
さすが恐ろしいお方です。
これで決着です。ベアトリーチェ。
Holy shit! Man, when I started this visual novel, I didn't expect JRPG level fucking fights or fucking World of Warcraft type shit. It's fucking awesome, but I don't know how to process it. Beatrice wore a bitter smile of false courage, but a strand of blood dangled from her mouth, making her look even more pitiful.
無限の魔女の称号と力、そしてベアトリーチェの名を今こそ返してもらいましょう。無限の魔女を語るにはお前は未熟が過ぎます。やめて、許しておくれよ、お嬢様。ちょっとふざけただけじゃねえかよ。あなたから我が名を奪います。元の姿に戻してあげましょう。
Oh shit, return
全
original
ての
form?
力を手放し、己にふさわしい生を全うするがよいでしょう。さあさあ、思い出してごらんなさい。あなたがどんな姿をしていたのか。
The predecessor Beatrice began to recite the words of power. When she did, small gold butterflies gathered near the skewered Beatrice began to swarm about her. Her original form. Like butterflies sucking the nectar out of flowers, they began to suck the magical power out of Beatrice. And it seemed to cause her intense pain. A cry of anguish issued from Beatrice's mouth. She no longer had any power to resist it.
さあさあ、目を閉じてごらんなさい。思い出してごらんなさい。あなたがどんな姿をしていたのか。さあ、ベアトリーチェ、あなたも私と一緒に復唱なさい。一緒にお歌を歌いましょう。そうすればすぐに終わりますわ。あなたの苦痛が少しでも早く終わります。
This can't be it for Beatrice. I mean, come on.
そうだな。お師匠様と一緒にお歌を歌うなんてどれくらいぶりかな。さあ、一緒に。 さあさあ思い出してごらんなさい。あなたがどんな姿をしていたのか。さあさあ思い出してごらんなさい。あなたがどんな姿をしていたのか。
And the two of them began to recite the same song. More and more gold butterflies danced around, swarming around Beatrice.
大丈夫ですよ、お嬢様。あなたは私の弟子であることを失いますが、私の仕えるお嬢様であることに変わりはありません。
That's nice, I guess.
そうしたらまた一緒にご本を読んで差し上げましょう。リンゴのパイを焼いて差し上げましょう。昔のように。さあさあ思い出してごらんなさい。ああ思い出してごらんなさい。そろそろ思い出せてきたかな。なあお師匠様、あんたの後ろにあるそれ思い出したかな。
Oh fuck, I knew it.
何ですか？
The stakes!
これは。
No. When the predecessor Beatrice looked behind her, there was an eerie hedgehog curled up there. Hedgehog. No. It was herself. There was another Beatrice, predecessor Beatrice, whose whole body had been packed with ballista shots, lying there like a pincushioned doll.
さあさあ思い出してごらんなさい。あなたがどんな姿をしていたのか。違うか。さあさあ思い出してごらんなさい。あなたがどうやって殺されたのか。
What the fuck? The predecessor Beatrice was stunned. Her form gradually began to fade away.
これはいつの間に。最初に呼んだのは双剣の塔ではない、四つ子の塔だったのよ。お師匠様の左右はるかに潜んだ隠し塔が描くセブンスランクルークの死の境界線を。
The seventh rank work boundary of death?
お師匠様はのこのこと踏み越えてきてくれた。
God, this is sounding like fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Like card rules.
チェックの発生が遅れてしまったことだけはマナー違反。率直に謝ろうぞ。
The battle had been decided at the very beginning. It had been over since the time the predecessor had leaned forward, wielding their holy spear to attack Beatrice, who had been wedged between her shoulder towers. The hidden towers working on either side had bathed her in a windstorm of ballista shots from 720 ports on both sides, planning and killing her. However, Beatrice hadn't wanted it to be resolved like that. She had wanted to let her teacher take her next move, and had continued acting as though the game was still on. She had immediately revived her with endless power, and had made her continue the game as though nothing had happened. Holy shit. Then the predecessor slowly remembered that she had already been killed and began to vanish completely. No! Previous Beatrice! When she did, the spear that had pierced Beatrice also vanished. Well, shit, there goes our only hope. Fuck. Beatrice finally landed on the ground. There wasn't even a trace of a scar.
楽しかったな、お師匠様。また遊びたくなったらいつでも蘇らせてやるよ。それで適当に遊んだら 死体だったことをまた思い出させてやるからさ。なあ、ちゃんとあんたの言いつけは守ってるぜ。おもちゃは遊び終わったらちゃんとおもちゃ箱にしまいましょうってな。
楽勝でございますかな。
愚かに心象だ。四つ子島で騙せてなかったら死んでおったのはわらわの方よ。さすがはお師匠様だが、これで胸が張れるというもの。
Stand powered indeed.
わらわは今こそお師匠様を完全に超えたとな。ロノウェ、お師匠様の亡骸をもう少しマシにしておけ。わらわもそこまで敬意を失ってはおらぬでな。
かしこまりました。今宵の第一の晩は少々派手に暴れすぎました。
Fuck.
少しは片付けも必要でしょう。すぐに取り掛かります。ヤギたちよ、お片付けの時間ですよ。
Comes the goats. When Wono snapped his fingers, blazing, sparkling eyes began to break open in the shadows and darkness, becoming goat-headed attendants that appeared one after another. One by one, they wordlessly stood at attention in a line behind Wono's back.
この度は6人の遺体をどのようにいたしますか。また密室形式に。
わらわはいい、それを考える気分。どの上に任せ、バトラーを悩ませるようにとびっきりの密室を頼むぞ。
かしこまりました。それではとびきりの。
God damn it.
それ、バトラはどこだ？バトラー、わらわの大活躍見た？
くしょー。今のめちゃくちゃな魔法の嵐を見せつけられて、俺は何を否定すればいいんだ。
You know, you got a point.
魔女はいるも何も。あんなドッカンドッカン凄まじいファンタジーを見せつけられて、今の俺は何を否定すりゃいいんだよ。
It's, I don't know, mirror, fuck it, I don't know, man.
もうわかんねえ。前回もそうだが、このイーカス的なマジカルバトルをどう否定すりゃいいんだよ。
だよな。こんなの見ちまったらもう言い逃れはできねえもんな。
Delusions.
さあバトラー、とんでも推理を聞かせてくれよ。
お嬢様、笑いに品がございませんよ。
おお、これはすまぬ。しかしわらわの責任ではないぞ。何しろバトラにキューッと両目を固く閉じてキリキリギリギリ歯ぎしりするなんとも悔しそうなその表情を見せられると、自然とわらわの口からこぼれてしまうものでな。
さあバトラ様、くじけずにテーブルへお戻りを。お嬢様はバトラ様の反撃を期待されておりますよ。
ふざけるな。何をどう反論すりゃいいってんだ。
Battery's got a point. What the fuck can I do? What can I say? I don't know, man. I don't know.
まずあの塔が地面から生えてきたあたりからもうめちゃくちゃだろうが。
How the fuck you want to explain any of that shit?
実は 六軒島の地下に合体変形巨大ロボの秘密研究所でもあって
Yeah, sure. Who knows, man.
ボタン一つでおかしな塔が生えてくるってのか
Yeah, and then it goes back down and it magically repairs itself.
ああ、それならあのでけえ巨人どもはきっとロボットだぜ。あるいは悪の秘密結社のメカ怪獣かもな。
It must be Dr. Hell.
わけわかんねえよ。俺に話しかけるんじゃねえ。うわ
ほらほらほらほら泣くなよ。魔法でドッカンドッカン。
Too easy
そ
though.
なたが望むなら月だって砕くし水星を雨のようにだって降らすさ。
Too fucking easy if it's magic
お
though.
前好みのムチムチ姉ちゃんで島を埋め尽くしてやってもいいんだぜ。
It's so fucking easy if it's just magic.
さあさあほらほらほらわらわの手番は終わったぜ。受け手をさせよ。反撃しろよ。できねえだろ。できねえのは船長も承知よ。お前こういうのダメだもんな。こういうファンタジー本当は大好きなんだもんな。
No, shut up. In other stories, not this one, damn it.
知ってんだよ。今時こんなの巷にいくらでも溢れてるじゃねえか。漫画に小説、アニメに映画。10代くらいのガキンチョたちがおかしな特殊能力いっぱい持ってて世界の命運かけてドッカンバッカンやるやつ。
Yeah, but this story isn't that. God damn it.
お前も大好きだもんな。
God damn it, this is different.
知ってんだよ。隠すなよ。大好きじゃねえかよ。そのお前の大好きなやつがちょいと目の前で披露されただけじゃねえかよ。どうして漫画やアニメのそれは信じてくれるのにわらわのだけ信じてくれねえんだよ。
God damn it, why does this feel like a personal attack on me? God damn it, I like those. For fuck's sake, I play JRPGs all the time. But no! God damn it.
信じろよ信じちまえよ。反論なんかできねえさ。こうして見せられちまったんだからな。ほらほらほらほら返事をしろよ。思考はいらねえ。素直にごめんなさいベアトリーチェ様って言えばいいんだよ。ほらほら言ってみろよ。ごめんなさいベアトリーチェ様って言ってみろよ。言えよ恥ずかしがるなよ。
Fuck, man. Fuck. Dude. Fuck. Holy shit. Holy shit, dude. What the fuck? Dude, what the fuck? Oh my god. Oh, the way this fucking game messes with me. It fucking knows I play JRPGs. this fucking game, it knows it. God damn it. It fucking knows it. God damn it. That's not that type of story. That's not what this story should be. God damn it. It's a mystery. It can't be just it can't be just magic. It's a cop-out. It's a cop-out. Oh my god. God, that was great. I don't think I even said a single thing during that whole like exchange. I couldn't think. I couldn't come up with a single explanation at all. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of anything. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Fucking Kumasawa turning into the previous Beatrice and fucking holy shit, what a fantastic game. Oh, to absolutely make my jaw drop for like about 2 hours. Oh my god. All I can say is I don't know, it's an illusion, I guess. I don't fucking know, man. I don't fucking know. I hope you guys enjoy this type of content. If you did, hit that subscribe button. If you liked it, hit the like button. Want to tell me something, put that in the comments below. Want to check out Discord server hang on in, or my Twitter, check description below. And yeah, this has been Voidlego. I'll see you guys next time. See ya!